Hi, this is Storebø Koh, and you are watching the Permanent Rain Press.
Hi everyone, it's Chloe with the Permanent Rain Press. Today I am happy to be joined by Martin Storebø Koh. How are you?
I'm doing wonderfully.
I'm happy to hear that. I know you've been really busy, so I appreciate you taking the time for an interview, but we'll get into Rykter and of course Felix, which I'm really looking forward to talking with you about. But to start off, what can you share about your background in the arts and what sparked that passion in you to start acting?
No, I've always been. Um, I always have loved movies, enjoyed watching good movies, and always kind of have this. What do I say? I've always liked actors. Like I always thought it has been a really cool job to do. It's I don't know. It's something about the job being a movie star and so, but I've never really had the guts to try until my first year in high school, freshman year in high school, when one of my good friends, Elias in Rykter, is his character name, he got the role. And then he said it was open to, they had open applications to try. So I sent the self tape. Shit. That was, oh my God, I cringe when I look at, oh, I watched it yesterday. Oh. But I applied, I sent a self tape, and then I didn't get the job. So I didn't think so much of it. I tried, but then a couple of months later, on Christmas holiday, I was at work, and then the casting agency called me. Oh, okay, we have role that might fit you. So send the self tape again, and then we try. So I sent the self tape, and I got an audition. So I ditched the school, took the first bus into the casting agency, and holy shit, it was scary. I was so nervous. I was so nervous. My heart was pounding, and because I never done this, but I've never done anything close to acting before. Maybe in kindergarten. In kindergarten, I played the moon. I think I played the moon in kindergarten, but never done it. So I was really anxious. But so I stood at the door. I was so close. I was stood at the door to the casting agency. I was so close to just taking the bus home. But I said, "Fuck it, let's try." Well, what's the worst that can happen? If I try and I don't get the job, I tried. But so I went in, did the audition. Then I met Mathias, but it was at the audition. Theo was having his first audition too, and the audition went pretty well. I got through to the second round, and then I got through to the third round. The third round was really scary. It was just me and casting lady alone in a room, and I remember the scene we were playing was she was a fat, pregnant, gay teacher, and I have to pretend I'm making fun of her. What? She's setting me up to be cancelled, so I was pretending to sit around the boys and calling her every slur in the book that I don't know, and she was like, "Yeah, you're doing a great job. You're doing a really great job." Well, I was like, "Shit." But later, a couple of weeks later, she called me. I got the job, and then uh, let's try.
You didn't leave the audition room, although
Yeah,
you were very nervous initially. But I mean, that audition, it must have been such a weird and maybe uncomfortable experience for you because, like you mentioned, they were setting you up. But then now that you've had a chance to sit with this character, which we'll get into, like it makes a lot of sense that
yeah,
you
yeah,
were right for the role, even if you weren't obviously use this dialogue in
yeah,
real life. But I mean, I'm glad that you took that chance because you never know what's going to happen.
yeah.
Who are some acting inspirations for you, and like why and how do they inspire you?
So coming into this Felix role, I know I was a cocky guy with. I knew Felix was kind of dickhead. So, but one of the characters I tried to implement in this role is the penguin from the Gotham series. He's really good. He's really good at making you. I want people to like when they see Felix, I want them to like really hate him, because it's what Felix does. Of course, when I watched the series, of course I wanna. Oh, I get so angry. I'm like a really bad guy. So I tried to like be like the penguin from Gotham. And when I say Gabriel Macht 2 from Suits, he's just a badass. He's just a really cool guy. He's such a Harvey Specter, holy. So I try to. Those two are my inspirations for now.
When you were younger, though, like what were some of your favorite movies or TV shows growing up? Do you remember any of them?
I Suits was one of them. Friends. What else? What else? Oof. I really like the Batman movies, and every movie with Matthew McConaughey and what's his name? Brad Pitt. Yeah.
It's cool that you were also like exposed to some, I guess, more Western television.
Yeah. One scene I tried to like compare to Harvey Specter was one scene in Suits. Harvey Specter is he's confronting a stockbroker, I think, or office worker, and the office worker threatens to like beat him up, and then Harvey Specter goes like this: "Yeah, try to beat me up, try punching me, see what you'll do." And that's something. And I compare that scene to my scene with Mathias in that season 3, episode 2. Like, come on, try hit me, see how many friends you got.
You said you were currently in school, so what are you studying, if you don't mind sharing?
Currently, I'm studying how to translate it? Business law and economics. Uh,
That sounds complicated.
I don't know. Yeah, it's complicated. I don't know why, but it's. I like the economics part, and the law, the business law seminars are fun too. So when it's slow in the start, but I'm starting to enjoy the law part.
Do you know like what your future career might look like a future job if you continue on with the law and economics?
No, I don't
You'll
just know.
figure it out.
I'll figure it out. It's a safe route to go. My dad wanted me to go to the USA to start the acting school, but I don't know. No, I don't think it's for me. I get so what's it called when you stand on stage and you get like
Nervous,
yeah,
anxious.
anxious. In Norway we call it sceneskrekk. It's like when you stand on stage and you're just freeze. So theater is not for me.
You're like Rykter is good enough right now,
Yeah,
but I mean,
because in front of a camera, right, you can have many takes, but in a theater you just have one go. So you have to perform every time.
do you think that you would be open to other acting jobs in the future, like
Yeah.
for TV? Yeah.
Hey, I'm a student. I'm poor. I have to get money, so I take any acting job.
You're like, send the auditions to me.
I met up with some of the Rykter crew and cast last Friday now, and we were watching all episodes, almost every episode until season 4. So then I said to one of the directors, because he's working on a project, "Hey, fix me, get me a role, a role."
You're like, I'm available. I'm open.
I'm available. So I hope there will be a new season of Rykter. I truly do.
With school, I know I saw on Instagram that you are on your school's, it's like the cannonball, or in English, it's the dodgeball team.
Mm.
So have you always liked sports, team sports?
No, it's because I go to it's a pretty big school, right? And for to it's not so much about the dodgeball. It's more about the group, to get connected with people, to get to know people, and to go out and have fun with them, going out clubbing or doing whatever, right? It's more to have a group of friends.
Social community.
Yeah, so it's more like we on our school we have everything from fitness we have American football teams, paddle teams, football, soccer teams, sorry, cheerleading teams. So it's more just to have a community. But dodgeball is really fun. Holy shit! I have like this winner instinct, so I get so turned. If I say turned on, it sounds wrong in America, but I get so pumped up, you know. I feel like a kid again. Just playing dodgeball is like the most fun part of gym when you have gym in in primary school. So it's really fun.
That's great. So you get like, some sports, but you also have the social aspect and get a group
Yeah,
to
yeah.
hang out with. Can you tell me about your heritage and how have your cultures shaped you and your identity?
So I would say my culture, if I can compare it to Felix, my culture and identity is almost exactly the same, except for my mother being Norwegian. And me and Felix both have grown up in small communities and in a prominently white area, not many foreigners. So I can really like understand Felix and coming into this new season. And we all know in Rykter that it's like the theme of the series is your identity and queerness. But and each character has different themes the writers want to show the viewers, right? So for me, my role is they want to show drugs and racism through me, what I go through. And Mathias and Erik go through queerness and identity crisis. I can really feel for Felix because not the drugs part, but of course racism is something I've experienced.
Has your kind of Asian culture been something that you've kind of grown up with a bit? Or I know that it's maybe a bit distant, but has it been something always kind of like in the back of your mind?
It's always kind of been in the back of my mind, even though I live in Norway, we've always kind of had tried to celebrate the Asian traditions. We have Chinese New Year and always talking to grandma. When I was smaller, we always were talking with grandma on every Saturday morning. But as I've grown older and I haven't been home, I haven't so much time to do that. But we always almost cook Asian food every day, mostly. So I'm kind of close to the Asian tradition, but not as close as maybe I should be. Or when I got my tattoos, oh holy shit, I got woo! My dad was not happy. My grandma was not happy. Oh,
I know that some of your tattoos though, like they are kind of honoring your Asian heritage. Like I know you have one on your back and maybe your arms. So can I ask about like the
yeah.
story and the significance behind them?
No, but the one on my back is Chinese. It says "graced by God" or "saved by God," or in Mandarin. How I pronounce it, I don't know. But I thought it was really cool and maybe a cool way to honor my heritage too, even though my family didn't approve it. Whew, I didn't think it was so deep, but And I have one on my chest here. It says, it sounds way better in Norwegian, but I can try in English. You're not so you're not so bad when the sun shines on you. So what it means, like, what it's something my grandpa's always said to me. So let's say everyone says you're bad at cooking, you can't cook for shit, you're terrible, you can't make food, and then you finally get the chance to make food, and then it's actually good, and someone says to you, "Oh, Martin, you're not so bad when the sun finally shines on you." So sun being the spotlight or having the chance, if you know. It's quirky, but I don't care.
I love it. It's something that like a reminder to yourself, like when you're living life. So, those are great. And I know about your Asian heritage. I'm glad that you're kind of finding other ways to honor it, even though it's not, a constant in your life with your family every day. We'll get into Rykter. I know you kind of went through your audition process already, but with TV, I mean, you said you met Thea early on in the process. So, how were those auditions for you actually getting to have, as they call it in English, like chemistry reads and getting to kind of meet other cast members? So, how was that for you? Was it something that made you excited to be a part of this project as you moved into more auditions?
No, I think me getting to play with Theo in my first audition made me more comfortable because I knew it was his first time too, and that made me more comfortable because then he can't judge me because he's just as new as me. So it made it better. It made it much better. But no, I just had fun with it. I just tried my best. Gave it my all, and that was enough. Even though my pulse was this high.
Who was the first person that you told when you found out that you got the part?
No, it was actually my friends because I was on the soccer field just shooting at the goal with my friends. So was there when I got the call. So they were the first who know.
Were your family and friends like very supportive of this journey for you as an actor? And if yes, how so?
Yeah, was really supportive, surprisingly supportive. At least to my face. Of course, I heard people talk shit behind my back before the series came out. Oh, this is cringe. This is never going to work out. But I don't really care about other people's opinions. So I just do my thing, and my family always they have been more than happy, more than excited for me to. My dad was sending me links to or theater schools in USA that I can get on a scholarship because of my uh, role, and my mother was excited, and everyone was really happy for me. And the series did great, so
To all the
I never,
haters out there, you're like,
uh,
stand down.
I never thought I was going to be interviewed by a Canadian journalist.
I'm honored to get some time with you just because of like the international reach that the show has had, like especially online, like through YouTube. Tell me about your character Felix. Like, how would you describe him and what are his main qualities and values?
I see myself on TV and I have read the script and talked to the writers and directors. I think that Felix is really a caring. He's a too emotional person. He's really emotional. He's really caring, and he's really overprotective. And that combined with alcohol maybe turns out not so good. But I think deep down, Felix just wants the best for his friends, even though he doesn't show it so much. And I don't agree with Felix's homophobic language and the slurs he screams out in the middle of lunch, but we all do our thing.
What has he been struggling with? Like, why does he turned to aggression, alcohol, and smoking to solve his problems?
I think it's because Felix is in a really bad place because of his pressure from his family. He doesn't feel he's good enough. He has no worth, and that combined with the things happening with Mathias and him ditching him, I think he's in such a bad place that he does such stupid things because he's only 16. And that combined with the pressure from family, Mathias, the hatred he has inside, and then on top of that, he's drunk and he's high on marijuana. I think that's it's many factors that play in why he behaves like he does.
So with his family, like we know he has an older brother who, I mean, his older brother is seen by the parents as, you know, the first child kind of thing. And at the same time, he does smoke weed as we know in the series. So what can you share about Felix's family? Like, what do you think his upbringing and childhood was like, and how did it shape who he became?
I think Felix upbringing has been always in the shadow of his older brother. The older brother always being the golden child, the perfect, he does nothing wrong. And with Felix being in the shadow, always trying to reach up to get on his level, to meet his expectations or to be as good as him, kind of makes Felix really sad because he's not like his brother. Felix is the opposite of his brother because the brother is good academically. The parents want Felix to perform well academically, but Felix is more of he's better at physical work. You understand? He's better at like a blue collar job, and the brother being better at maybe a white collar job. But the white collar, just because he does a white collar job, doesn't mean he's good at the blue collar job. So I think Felix he's being compared unfair to his brother. Because you see in season 3, episode 1, that he's really good at working. He gets a job offer before he goes to school. But that not being good enough for his parents maybe puts Felix down again.
So he also has a religious upbringing, like we know, his mother's very religious. So has that played kind of a factor into Felix's beliefs?
Yes, I think the way that has affected him is that with his family being really religious, he has to fit. He has to like be a good, well-behaved child. He has to talk in a certain way. He has to behave a certain way. Kind of makes him feel a pressure to be like his brother. He has to be not just he doesn't have to be as good as his brother. He has to be both a well-behaved child and as good as his brother.
Very like kind of traditional, they would call it like upbringing and
Yeah,
being held to certain standards in
being held
life.
to standards in life. And I think that Felix is kind of he dares to be different. So that's why he doesn't want to be like them.
How much of yourself have you put into Felix over the past 3 seasons so far, and how does playing him challenge you?
I think I've put everything into being Felix. But me and Felix are really similar. We are. All of my friends always come up to me. You and Felix are just the same. You are just playing yourself. You are not even acting. But am I that rude? Am I that rude? So no, me and Felix are really alike, except homophobic slurs. So, but he's a difficult role to play sometimes. He's so energetic and happy sometimes, and he's a fun role to play too. You can joke, you can just joke around. the scene with the boys are always fun because you just joke around and I myself and just have fun with it. But the challenging parts are in episode 7, I think, where when I stand on the table and shout at Thea. Like scenes like the big scenes like that are really challenging to be Felix.
When you're reading the scripts and you kind of see, okay, Felix has another moment where, he's just being so mean to someone and he's just piling on that hate. Like, how do you kind of prepare for that?
No, preparing for big emotional scenes like that. I just if I have to if it's like an energetic scene, I just listen to like hype music, just just joke around, and if it's like a sad scene or depressing scene, I just turn on depressing music and just say nothing until the scene. Like when if I play a depressing scene, I will listen to depressing music, get in the car on the way to the set, and I'll just try to cry or just be as depressed as possible. Make myself depressed.
Music's always a good way to kind of get yourself ready for those. Now, Felix and Mathias, they have been best friends since kindergarten. What do you think Felix likes about Mathias and their friendship?
I think Felix really loves Mathias because they are day ones. They've been together since kindergarten, and Mathias has always been there for Felix, and Felix has always been there for Mathias. They're like Batman and Robin. You can't take them apart. And the qualities Mathias and Felix is really close to Mathias's family too. So he's almost like he's his brother. They are doing everything together.
Does Felix just see Mathias as like a brother and best friend, or are there any like additional unresolved feelings for him?
Oh no, I'm almost 100% sure it's just brothers.
I think that that's like one of the questions that people have because,
Yeah.
when Mathias starts, of course, I will note that we are not discussing spoilers in this interview past like season 3, episode 10. But people were wondering because when Mathias does start to spend more time with Erik, Felix just gets really angry and jealous. So, can you take me through those emotions that he feels and why he lashes out when Erik comes to town?
I think the emotions is because, like I said now, the Mathias and Felix has been day ones, kindergarten, best friends, brothers since forever. And for Mathias to try leaving Felix more and being more of Erik kind of hurts Felix because Mathias is everything, has been everything for Felix. And for that to be stripped away from Felix hurts him really bad. And that's why I think Felix's hatred starts to go towards Erik too. But I never think Felix hated Erik. Felix hated that Erik took away Mathias from Felix.
That's a good way to put it because I think that when people feel like they're being replaced, right? It's like that feeling that you don't like and you need to find like a source of anger for that. So Felix tells his brother that he needs weed for Mathias and Mathias will stand him up if he has nothing to offer. Why does Felix have the mindset that he has to buy like Mathias's friendship and compete with Erik for his attention?
No, I don't think it's more to buy to prove himself to Mathias. It's more of to take Mathias back to the good old days. Like Felix take him out to the hut where they used to play with about children, try to bring back the old memories for Mathias to remember what they have. But that's not working out though. that.
Yeah, Matthias is like grown past that, and it's like Felix is kind of stuck in those old days.
Yeah.
Is there anything you remember from the gym scene in episode 1 of season 2 when the guys beat Erik? Like, I know you mentioned music. Like, was this a difficult scene for you to get into character for, being kind of like the key person who wanted to hurt Erik?
No, I think it was more. It wasn't really hard. The punching part, we just had fun with it. We just jumped them in, and it was really fun. But the other scene where Mathias and Sarah comes in and stops us, it wasn't really hard either, because I really put myself in Felix's position, because now Mathias is being, he tries to be the hero when he was in on it all along. So I just put myself in Felix's shoes and really felt the emotions. So when I was actually angry when I played in that scene. I was actually angry.
You mentioned that you were with the cast and crew and you kind of watched all these episodes. So does it ever get kind of weird for you watching yourself on screen and how you were feeling in that moment?
Oof, I hate it. I hate watching myself on TV. It's fun, but it's like watching old musicals I made when I was 13 years old. I start to get like a tear in my eye. I was cringing, like fuck. But it's fun too to like finally see the final product. So it's like it's a roller coaster of emotions. But mostly good, but some bad too.
It's something that might, like, you'll never get fully used to seeing yourself on
Yeah.
screen. During the class trip, Felix, he sees Matthias and Erik sleeping kind of in bed together, the bottom bunk bed. We never see Felix confront either boy about what he saw. So in your opinion, what did Felix think he saw, and why does he keep that information to himself?
That's a damn good question. I don't know. I actually can't answer that. I actually don't fucking know. I've thought about it all day. I don't know what to answer to that. Maybe he's just shocked that Mathias, who has been is Sarah's boyfriend, is cuddling up with Erik. I don't know. Maybe I was just paralyzed in shock.
Do you think that with Felix's kind of traditional religious upbringing that he is uncomfortable with the idea of queerness, like he doesn't feel comfortable talking about it with other people?
No, I don't think because you're going to bring up the episode with Dan, right, holding my shoulder. Yeah, because that was more. It wasn't me being uncomfortable or Felix being uncomfortable with queerness. That was just pure improvising. Because as you see in the scene, Dan tries to give us the rules and this and blah blah blah, and Felix just wants to drink and have fun, right? So I was just trying to be the boss and just go and fuck him, we go drink. But then Don like stops me and holds around me and tries to belittle me. So that was what the like side I was about. It's like him trying to make me feel small and not me wondering if I'm gay.
I'm glad that you shared like your kind of interpretation and viewpoint, because I think for viewers like it could kind of go either way, but you're saying,
Yeah.
okay, for Felix, like he just wanted to get to the drinking and have fun, and that was the like his motivations behind it. At the end of season 2, Felix says he is done with Matthias. He doesn't want to go on the fishing boat with him in the summer. And throughout these 2 seasons, all Felix has wanted to do is spend more one-on-one time with Matthias. So what has changed, and like why does he cut all ties with Matthias now?
I think it's a bit of a combination between him being done with Mathias and he doesn't want to be dependent. He doesn't want to be depending on Mathias to get things done. So I think Felix has now understood that the boys are with him. They're done with Mathias, and he has the boys in his back, and he's fed up with Mathias. He doesn't want to try to be friends with Mathias anymore. Mathias has shown time upon time that he wants to be with Erik. So him going on a fishing boat with Mathias doesn't sit right with him. And he wants to do things by himself. So he goes to start at the fish factory by himself, not depending on Mathias to get the job.
When Mathias kind of says, you know, Felix, you're just always wanting to have fun. You don't take things seriously. There's a limit for it. Do you think those words from Mathias, his former best friend, affected or hurt him? Was he just annoyed by it?
I think it was more shocking for Felix he's just wondering what is happening now. What am I doing wrong? Why is Mathias behaving like this?
When we return for season 3, Felix spent the summer, like you mentioned, at the factory of Vesterøy Seafood, working with the guys. We don't get to see how Felix and Erik bonded. So can you fill in the blanks for viewers who wonder how they became friends after all Felix has done to Erik in the first 2 seasons?
So the way I interpret it, or the way I see it, is like I said earlier, Felix never really hated Erik. He just hated that Erik took away Mathias from Felix. But now Mathias is gone, and Mathias is on a fishing boat all away. So when Erik starts to work at the fish factory, they are forced to work together. So I think Erik has grown on Felix, and they have actually found out, oh, damn, he's pretty chill actually. So that Erik has joined the boys. So that's the way I saw it. I think they became friends. So yeah.
So he gets an offer from his boss to work at the factory, as we know. What does that support and approval mean to Felix?
I think it means quite a lot for him to finally feel like he's good enough. Like the quote I have on my chest, that he finally has the opportunity to show something, and it turns out to be good. It turns out great. So he finally got the chance, and he performed. So I think Felix really took it to heart. But then again, got really sad when his family just shut it down.
It is revealed in the more recent episode through other characters that Felix has dyslexia. How has this impacted him with his social skills and his studies at school?
Socially, I wouldn't say it affects him really, but academically, it really is. I can't say anything, but you will see that Felix really struggles academically throughout in the more episodes, and that's the only thing, because he performs really well at the what can you say, the physical classes, while he lacks on the academically classes. So you will see more
glimpse of it. Like you mentioned, he's really good at like the blue collar jobs and maybe studies or classes that don't require a lot of instruction, but like the physical labor he is good at. Episode 2 was an explosive episode. We talked a bit about it. You know, you talked about the moment with Dan, and then with Felix, he shoves and uses homophobic language towards Mathias. Where was that hate in that moment coming from for Felix?
I think it's not that Felix is homophobic. I think it's more that Felix has finally gotten something he has on Mathias that he can use against Mathias, and he wants to hurt Mathias, so he uses the homophobic language to really make him feel it, like he done to make Felix feel sad. It was really fun scene to. It was really energetic scene to play, and I think it's not the Felix hates him because he's queer, or I think it's more that Felix doesn't want Mathias back in his life again, so he does everything he can to get Mathias out of his life.
I spoke with Thea and he said he just remembers feeling really sad during that scene, but he also got to like fall on a mattress. So I think you did your job with the piling on the mean language.
Oh yeah, we have had many scenes like this, and one time he came up to me and said, "I really want to punch you right now." I really.
And so you felt like you were doing your job.
Yeah, of course. And it was like compliment, but not at the same time.
Is it easy for you to kind of like go in and out of character at the end of the day after scenes like those?
No, I feel like I stay in character actually when I finish work. When I have like the whole long days and every day, I feel like I stay in character without really realizing it. But when I look back at it, I feel like I do stay in character. So, but sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's really hard. When I'm tired of everything I do, I just don't want to be Felix when I'm tired at work.
Like you mentioned, it's the energy level, right?
Yeah,
and
the
of
energy
course
level,
with
yeah.
Felix, he has the use of like the alcohol and the drugs to keep his energy up, which is not real life.
It's like a scene where Felix can go for like being this up on the energy level to this down. So it's really hard to like change, I feel like. But like the party scenes, I hate. Party scenes are like the best, but the worst at the same time. Because Felix being the alcoholic and drug addict he is, I have to smoke a joint in every scene, or I have to drink in every scene. So I end up like pissing 20 times a day and and smoking many cigarettes. What it was one scene I was because we have these fake cigarettes. Like it's not real cigarettes.
Yeah, just to clarify, you're not actually drinking alcohol and smoking.
Oh no! Not if we were drinking real alcohol, we would be shit faced.
So is it just a lot of water intake for you?
Yeah, a lot of water and what's it called? The mixture you put with water.
Soda, I don't know.
Soda mixture with water to make the color.
Thea returns to Vesterøy. She doesn't react to his interview, his insults, and at a party he is saved by her after getting into a confrontation. And for the first time, he is open about his difficult life at home. Can you tell me about that scene and why he felt comfortable sharing with Thea?
I think it's more because he felt like he maybe owed Thea something because she came and saved him. And that combined with the fact that he was drunk. But I think really if anybody sat down with Felix and had a real one-on-one conversation with him and actually asked him how it felt, how he feels, he would say it to anyone. But nobody does that, so maybe he feels alone. So I don't think it's more actually just because it's Thea. I think it's because someone actually took the time of their day to ask Felix how he said.
How was it filming that scene opposite Cecilia? Because it was like a very kind of vulnerable moment for both of them.
Oh, we laughed a lot. We laughed a lot because me and her have never really had that kind of friendship or relationship, right? So when she touches me and I look up at her and she looks at me like this. So I just start laughing, and when the camera is on her and she touches me and she looks at me, I look at her like this. So it was
You were
really
just like
fun.
behind the camera that
Yeah,
we can't see you. You're just like
yeah,
laughing.
yeah. No, so it was really fun to play with her.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, it's like a relationship that your characters don't have and have never like had throughout the season. So it's an interesting scene to see as viewers. Do you think Felix enjoyed the old fake Thea, like being able to make fun of her? Like, what are his opinions on her return? And she has this new look and personality.
I think Felix never really cared that Thea was fake. Maybe he just had something to make fun of. He had something to tease her about. But I don't think he really think he believes the new Thea because he knows Thea. She has lied all her life or most of her life about this or that. So that he sees her for a couple of days or maybe weeks, pretending to be this newly born stone aura believer. I don't know. I think it does. I think Felix doesn't buy it just yet.
For him, I feel like it's also very difficult for him to think people can maybe change and grow. And
Mm.
you mentioned earlier the scene on the table, they shared that brief moment when he was drunk and then Taya goes and she's asking him about his mom. Like, why does he snap there and decide now I can make fun of her again?
I think it's more because he hates to be vulnerable and to show weakness. And when she comes and asks him loud in front of people how it was with his mom and this and that, it makes him go in kind of protective mode. He wants to like protect his image. That's why he kind of snaps at her, trying to shut her down and humiliate her.
I know you can't spoil anything, but do you think that there could be redemption for Felix in the future? Or if not redemption, maybe change or growth?
What I can say, I think the viewers will start to like Felix as the seasons go on. That from yeah, that I can say. I think.
I feel like people will hear that and be like, we can never like Felix just because of all he's done in the past. But I feel like this season in particular, we're getting to, of course, know a bit more about maybe his life at home and the problems that he has been facing.
Mm. I think it's good we start to show it because that it kind of gives an insight in why Felix is like he is and how that has shaped him to be the man that he is today. The family side being shown, I think it's essential for the series.
Which has been your favorite scene to film across the three seasons and why? So that's up to, we'll say, season three, episode 10.
No, there's been many. I have to say two. I have to say two. One scene is season one in episode 4, 5, or 6 when we're out on Mathias's boat. Me, Mathias, Elias, and Nathaniel. When we were just fishing, having fun, talking, uh, throwing the fish around, pretending it was my penis. It was just a really fun day because we were out on the ocean, beautiful weather. It wasn't cold, it was warm. We got free energy drinks, free chips. So we just sat there and ate chips and talked, and it was really fun. It was one of the best days. And the other one was it was season one, I think. It was a birthday episode for me. In the seniors, they rented an apartment in Bergen and had a surprise party for me. And it was just, I didn't think it would be a good scene, but because it was so early and we had to pretend we was partying, but it was 10 o'clock in the morning and we were partying like it was 3 o'clock at night. It was, and we were sober. It was so, when I look back at it, I'm like, what the fuck happened? But it was just a really fun day. We were dancing, singing, eating chips, drinking. It was really, so those 2 days, without a doubt.
What is the cast relationship like because with Rykter, for many of you, it's like your first kind of big acting role and getting to experience this all together.
No, I think it's the relationship between all the actors and the cast and crew. It's without a doubt perfect. I think everyone is friends. When I talk to my directors, of course they're my boss, but I don't. It doesn't feel like it feels like it's my friend. So the relationship between the crew and cast, I think it's something really special. Me and my friend Elias in Rumours, we were going out to a pub, and one of the directors joined us. We were just me, Elias, and the director just sat there and drinking, talking, and having fun. And especially between the actors, the friendship is really strong. Everyone is friends, and we always have a good time.
Do you have a group chat at all when you're not
Oh,
filming?
yeah, we have many group chats. We have one with the boys and girls, the whole cast, and then we have the boys. I think the girls maybe have one too. Have one with have one with some smaller boys group. Many groups.
Are you quite active in them, or are you the
Not anymore. Not anymore. It was mostly just we were just mostly posting banter from Rumours or making fun of each other or posting bloopers or just having fun.
With the bloopers, I know people would love to see them. I'm not sure if there's any plan to release any kind of like little mini episode of them.
I hope so. I hope so. I think we asked on Friday, but I don't know. I think there's so many, it would take them so long to make one.
I need to see the one of you and Cecilia filming that kind of
Uh,
emotional scene, just try like
uh,
making funny faces behind the camera.
those scenes are those scenes are the most fun when those bloopers when they make like the side eye. I've had so many of those. It's like sometimes me and the boys we purposely sabotage each other. So when I had like when I have like a big scene or emotional scene where I have to be sad or this, I just see like Nathaniel, oh Kennedy is his name, behind the camera, looking at that, and it just ruins the whole thing.
The director's probably like annoyed
Oh,
at you all by now. They're like, come on, like we need to film, we need to get this done.
yeah, we have gotten a lot of spanking for that.
What has your time on Rykter taught you about the film industry?
Oof. A lot of respect for actors and crew members. Holy shit. If I was like the sound guy, my shoulders would be sore, like standing like this all day. I have a lot of respect for the film industry, really. How much it goes into making one scene. Coordinating with the background actors and the light. God, holy! I never thought of light being so important, but it's really important. So everything with light has to be okay, sound has to be okay. So much things that go into play. So no, a lot of respect.
How much has like being able to work with them, like not just the directors, but also like the hair and makeup, like how much has that impacted your experience?
Oh, it made a huge difference. Holy shit, I would be ugly if I didn't have makeup on. So no, uh, as much credit to them as the cameraman. Goddamn, without a doubt.
It's really cool to see it all come together, I'm sure, from an acting perspective and
Oh
this
yeah,
being your first set. Yeah.
it's like I picture the scene and then I look at when I see the final product. Oh, now I understand. Now I understand how they wanted it. So it's like you get to see what they actually meant if you don't understand, and it's cool to see how they got it.
What messages have you seen and received from viewers? Like Were you prepared to play a villain character? Has any of the reactions surprised you? People who strongly dislike Felix, like what has that response been for you?
No, I've almost only gotten good comments. In the DMs at least, it's been mostly good. Mostly people say, I don't like Felix, but I like your role. You play. I like your acting. You're doing a good job, or you're a great actor, or mostly positive. But I've gotten a couple of hate comments like, your mom got molested by your grandpa. Now she's dead. And then he proceeded to send me a picture of dead mouse intestines hanging out, saying that was my mom. And I was like, how the fuck did he find a picture like that? And mostly some racist comments, but I don't really take it. It doesn't really bother me, right? Because there's some guy on the internet. Like, who is that guy? You know. So, but to my face, it's mostly been good. I don't really. I know what I was signing up for, so I don't really care about hate. It's a part of the job, so what happens happens.
I'm sure like it can be a lot now with the show kind of reaching other countries and other audiences, and people have a lot of opinions, but I think that you have done a really great job with the character and with what you have been given.
Thank you, thank you.
The series touches on many difficult topics, social media and bullying, discovering one's sexual orientation, sexual harassment, mental health. Like you mentioned with Felix's journey, it's also like racism. So, what do you hope young viewers take away from the show?
What I want people to never let someone treat you like Felix treats Mathias. Dare to be yourself and always challenge yourself. Never be afraid to go out of your comfort zone.
I have one more question for you, our signature question. If you could be any ice cream flavor, which would you be and why?
Oh, I have to be cookie though. It's just too good. It's just too good. Because maybe you can maybe because cookie dough, right? The cookie dough, the bits are a bit hard, but when you finally get to taste them, right, it's really good. So maybe like once you get to know me, you understand I'm not such a bad guy.
I like the relating back to kind of like your character and everything like that. Thank you so much, Martin, for taking the time to chat. I really appreciate it.
No worries, it was really fun.
Yeah, hopefully we can catch up again. I know that Felix's journey is not over in the show, but for all those watching, you can make sure to catch Martin in Rykter. New episodes of season 3 are airing on NRK in Norway, and for international fans, the series has been translated and uploaded on YouTube. So check it out and show your support, and we will see you next time.